Thank you. Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Dr. Niikee'sha Fae here, mystic mentor, spiritual guide, wisdom teacher, all the fun things that resonate from my heart to yours. The past couple of weeks, I've sort of been sharing a little bit more about the work that I do. And one of the main intentions of my work is to be able to support people understand their health and wellness at the deepest layers, and understanding the energetics that actually then become to create physical disease within us. And, this doesn't mean that we're bad people. The truth is we all have stuff. And our capacity to allow ourselves to move through it as opposed to hang on to it is how it relates to our body's ability to be able to heal. Because when we're holding on to old stories and, thought forms and beliefs that aren't benefiting us, it affects the ability for our body to do what it does naturally, and that's heal. And, when we first start diving into, the deeper meanings of, what is happening within us, the most important thing to remember is not to take it personally. Because the truth is we all have stuff, and we've all come here to navigate different layers of this experience. And so it makes it a lot easier when we allow ourselves to view ourselves through the eyes of love, to try and understand more deeply what sort of beliefs we might be holding on to that, perhaps isn't benefiting us. And so when I was feeling into what would be good to explore a little bit more today, and it came up about the heart. So heart disease, my background as a naturopath, I've been a naturopath for almost 30 years. I have my doctorate is in natural medicine. One of the things that is still the leading cause of ill health in our world is heart disease. And, if you can resonate with this, or if there's something else that's sitting there for you, I will be taking a caller or two after I share a little bit more first to help you to understand, a little bit more deeply what's happening in that area energetically. The big why, is this the most shut down energy center in the world? And, so the heart, when we look at the energy of the heart, it's actually the balance point of all of the other energy centers as well. And so when we can do little different practices and processes that help to harmonize our hearts, it actually helps to harmonize all of the other energy centers as well. So it's extra special in that way. So the energy of the heart operates on the frequencies of joy, of gratitude, and of appreciation. And so when we're connected into those types of feelings, those types of thought forms, those types of experiences that allow us to connect with that energy at that level, it harmonizes the energy of our heart space. And so when we get stuck, it's a bit windy here today. So when we get stuck in the patterns of lack of joy, lack of gratitude, taking things for granted, not appreciating the little beautiful things that are always around us as well, it starts to close off the energy of the heart. And like I mentioned in the beginning, that when any of our energy centers are closed off or they've got their energy restricted in some way, the body can't do what it does naturally, and that's heal itself. It can't come back into balance to allow itself to regenerate and rejuvenate in its most optimal way. Other things that are related to the energy of the heart are things like tolerance and acceptance, forgiveness. Now, they talk about forgiveness being one of the most difficult things for us to reach within ourselves. But an important thing to be aware of when we are having tolerance for things, we're allowing ourselves to find forgiveness or acceptance, it doesn't mean we're condoning behavior. It doesn't mean we're letting people get away with treating us in a way that isn't okay for us. It's still important to have that discernment for sense of self, that sense of self which is connected to the tummy and the digestion. So we might talk about that a little bit more another time. But so having those boundaries and that discernment about how we do and don't desire to be treated is very important, because we don't want repeated patterns of bad behavior towards us. But when we think about, in its truest form, forgiveness, acceptance, I was about to say appreciation again, forgiveness, acceptance, and tolerance, these energies are more so related to, can we release the hook out of ourselves? Can we let that hook off of being annoyed with the neighbor? Because really holding these energies isn't really doing anything to the other person. Most of the time it's not doing anything to the other person. What it's doing is it's hurting us. It's hurting us by allowing ourselves to continue that repeated suffering within our own heart about, something that we can't even change. We only have the capacity within ourselves to, create change within ourselves. We can't really control anybody else. We can try as much as we like, but then that becomes to cause suffering as well when we realize that we really don't have any control over, over anybody else either. And so, to come to harmony within the heart, and what also helps us to be able to move through some of that unforgiveness, the intolerance, those sorts of patterns that are hurting our hearts, especially in the long term, we can start to bring a little bit more focus on things like gratitude. I'm sure that many of you would have heard of gratitude practice before. It's very popular. There's actually a whole body of research as well in the scientific journals, believe it or not. In the scientific journals, there's a whole lot of research on the benefits of gratitude practice, not only on mental health and things like that, but also on things like heart disease, on cholesterol levels, on blood pressure, all of those things that are asthma, because it's all the energy in this space that gets affected, all of the organs that get affected in this space as well. And so, I really recommend doing things like reminding yourself of things that you're grateful for. Even in the hardest times, it can be harder to find, but if you allow yourself to move through that and think about, what are some of your favorite things? There's always something there. And if you can allow yourself to connect with that, allow yourself to feel it and breathe that feeling through your heart space and keep doing it, you're going to start to notice the shift in your energy. And then when your energy shifts, your mind shifts, our attitudes shift, and then the world around us starts to shift as well, because we start to see things differently when we're allowing ourselves to view through the eyes of love, through the eyes of our beautiful heart space. And so I have a beautiful caller. Let's get to Catherine. Catherine, are you
Yes.
there?
Hi, how are you doing?
Hi, yes, well, thank you. How are you?
I'm good.
Cool. Did you have something that you wanted to ask about, or where are you sitting?
Well, I'm currently going through a loss of a loved one, so it's been very difficult for me as far as dealing with grief, and it's kind of taken me into a depression where I've kind of lost myself a little bit. So trying to figure out my next steps and where I'm going to go from here.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So what I'll get you to do, if you can, is imagine you're breathing in and out through the center of your chest, just gently. Imagine you're breathing in through the front and out through the back. And then imagine you're breathing back in through the back and out through the front. Are you able to connect with that?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, and so as you continue to do that, what that does is it helps to start to get the flow of energy through that space again. Grief is an emotion that can accumulate in this same area. It accumulates in the lungs, which is also part of that beautiful heart space energy. And so what happens sometimes when that accumulates, it creates like a bit of a closing down of your beautiful heart. And, you know, as we were just sharing, that heart space is the space where we can access that joy, access, you know, the light that, you know, is in all things around us, and for us to be able to remember that. And so as you continue to breathe in and out through your heart space, it feels like there's a bit of a layer of story that's woven around. It's almost like an edge, like a barrier that's around the heart, and it feels like there's a little bit of a story around that you could have done more, or you feel like there's something unresolved with that. Can you relate to that?
Yes, that is true.
Yeah, and so what this energy is doing is it's making it difficult for you to come back to your usual self, because it's containing the energy of the heart and keeping it restricted.
Okay.
And so as you continue to breathe in and out through your heart space, what I'll get you to do is now imagine you're diving right into the very center of your heart space. And if you can take your awareness right into the very, very center, might be really deep, and seeing if you can see a light. Are you able to connect with that?
Yes, a little bit.
Yeah, so just breathing into that light. And as you breathe into it, it starts to come forward. So this is your light, a beautiful light that exists within all things. It's also a part of you. And as you breathe into that light, it starts to come more and more into presence. And so if you can, inviting that light to come forward and start to fill your heart space. Are you able to connect with that?
Yes.
So as you continue to breathe into your light, it becomes a little brighter and more vibrant. And as you continue to breathe into that, it starts to fill all of your heart space in the now. And as you breathe into your light, it also holds the energy of joy, of unconditional, and of forgiveness. And that's forgiveness of the self too. So as you continue to breathe into your beautiful light, it becomes brighter and more vibrant. And starting to gently weave those feelings of your true essence, that beautiful unconditional heart, that appreciation, gratitude. And as you breathe into that, how's that feeling for you?
It's great. It's very much a relief.
Yeah. And so this will be a beautiful practice for you each day to connect in with. Yeah, for 5 minutes. So we're just going to stay with it for another minute. Just breathing through your beautiful heart space, feeling your light and allowing your light to grow and expand and start to dissolve that edge that's there. Dissolve that story of guilt, unresolvedness. It's not in alignment with your true being. As you continue to breathe into your light, allowing it to gently start to move even further through all of your heart space and into your lungs as well. Are you able to connect with that?
Yes, thank you so much.
And so continuing to breathe into your beautiful light, knowing that it's unlimited. And so it doesn't take any effort. It needs only to be remembered for it to come into presence. And so as you continue to breathe into that, it's just helping to transmute the grief, transmute that from the past which cannot be changed. And as you sit in that energy, sending love to your beautiful loved one that passed, sending them your love, and know that they've received it. They too are back in light. Just taking a big, deep breath into that. How's that feeling for you?
It's great. Thank you.
Yeah, so if you can do that every day, just 5 minutes. If you set a timer or a clock or something, you don't have to worry about the time, and just allow yourself to really be in your light, radiate your light, and remember that. that's the truth of who you are, as this beautiful light. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Ida. We have Ida. Ida. Sorry, Ida. Yeah, sorry.
It's okay.
Hello.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm managing.
Yeah, what would you like to bring forward today?
I'm not real sure at this moment. Just curious where I'm headed, with my financial situation and relationship status.
Yeah. It feels like what would really be beautiful. Were you just listening to the past caller?
Yes, ma'am, I was.
Yeah. So really connecting into your beautiful heart. So I'll get you to imagine you're breathing in and out through your heart space. Are you able to connect with that?
Yes, ma'am.
And so just gently imagine you're breathing in through the front and out through the back. And then breathing back in through the back and out through the front. And you might imagine there's a spinning wheel. Just the energy spinning right through your middle, there where you're breathing. And as it spins, it's just helping it to soften and open a little more. How's that feeling for you?
Leaving, I guess.
And so as you continue to breathe through your beautiful heart space, get you to, if you can, imagine right in the very center of your heart, a beautiful light. Are you able to connect with that?
Yes, ma'am.
And now imagining that beautiful light coming forward. This is your light. The light of source energy, however that is for you. To remind you that you are this as well, this beautiful light. And imagine it coming forward now. And as it starts to fill your heart space, your beautiful radiant light. Are you able to connect with that?
What?
And as you breathe into this light, I invite you to bring to mind anything at all that helps you to feel gratitude. Is there anything that you can think of that you feel grateful for at the moment? Something that you really love, something you enjoy?
My kids.
Sorry?
My kids.
Your kids? Yeah, beautiful. So as you envisage your light filling your beautiful heart space, feeling that divine love you have for your children. Feeling that beautiful energy of gratitude, appreciation, that unconditional love. And if you can, allowing yourself to feel that even more strongly. And as you do, your light becomes brighter and more vibrant. And it starts to overflow and outpour. And it starts to overflow and flow all the way down through those lower energy centers, helping you to remember the gift that you are, this light, helping to bring light to your closest personal relationships, and anchoring that light into the earth. Just imagining your beautiful unlimited light outpouring and anchoring all the way down into the earth. Are you able to connect with that?
Yes, ma'am, somewhat. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so if you can sit with that every day for 5 minutes, just spend a few minutes just inviting your beautiful heart energy forward, sitting with the beautiful divine love that you have with your children, weaving that energy through the light, through your light, and then watching it overflow and anchor all the way down into the earth. And as it anchors into the earth, it gains more stability and support from the beautiful earth. And the beautiful earth is where abundance lives. And so as you connect your energy down into the beautiful earth each day, do it for 3-4 weeks, every day for 5 minutes, and you'll start to see everything shift.